Hey my sweethearts, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiki and I'm so thankful, so thankful that you're here with me today. If this is your first time in here, welcome. This is my page where I love to talk about perfumes and fragrances within my collection and also provide some fragrance education on the history behind the brand. So if this is of interest to you, please do me a favor of subscribing to my channel. It will really help me as I am a growing page trying to connect with more like-minded people, especially in the fragrance world. So the focus of today will be on some amazing Middle Eastern fragrances that I think, or actually I believe you should get your nose on, because as we know, the Middle East is the home of modern perfumery and they have been churning out so many amazing fragrances that are worth it. The Middle East is known to be very generous in their culture and the way they relate with one another, and that extends to how they wear their fragrances. So it's almost the louder the better. In addition, being that the culture over in the Middle East is appreciative of covering up in terms of their clothing, you tend to see that people depict their personality through the kinds of perfumes that they wear. And that's why the focus is on using very strong notes like agarwood, also known as oud, very potent floral notes like saffron and jasmine, and very intense musk as well can be found in their fragrances. Another nice part about this is that they utilize a huge concentration of fragrance oils in their perfumes, making them last so much longer. So the Middle East is known to have some of the very best perfume houses in the world. We're talking about houses like Amouage, Swiss Arabian, Navitus Perfumes, Kajal, Kayali, The Spirit of Dubai, and of course Latafa. So this is just a tiny chunk of the wonderful perfume aspect that is a part of the Middle Eastern region and culture. And on a separate video, I'm going to shed more light into the history and brands from that region, because I think there's so much we can explore from that area. Left to me, I feel that the Middle East has the very best of the best when it comes to perfumery. Actually, I would say a good 50 or 60% of my perfume collection, which is in the hundreds, are from the Middle East. So I am very much connected to that region. That being said, if you would like to know what these fragrances are, which I absolutely love, perform so well, and surprisingly are not getting a lot of attention here on YouTube, why don't you get settled, probably grab yourself a cup of water, and let's get into the video. Now, the first fragrance I'm so excited to talk to you about is by the brand Afnan. And well, this is a relatively new release, and it's called Amberthyme, and it's from their Edict collection. This was released in 2022. The Edict collection is made up of 3 fragrances, if I recall, and those are Addiction, which is heavily focused on oud as a note. You have Mystique, which is like a floral focused fragrance, and then you have this gorgeousness called Amberthyme, which is a gourmand leaning fragrance. And oh my goodness, you have to have this in your collection, because baby, this is doing what it's supposed to do. This is a year-round fragrance, well intended for you to smell like a snack. The notes are at the top, amber, cinnamon, tonka beans. In the middle, you have saffron, jasmine, and vanilla. At the base, you have ambergris, sandalwood, and cedar. I am so happy that I'm sharing with you this fragrance because it's such a polished gourmand. Like, it feels velvety, creamy when you spray this in the air, and it stays that way from start to finish. It doesn't get cloying in any way. This fragrance is like gingerbread with some burnt sugar in the air, and then you have that caramel sweetness combined with all of this, bringing the bitter almond nuts that just balances everything out. And then saffron then comes to do its magic because of how sweet that note is in fragrance's goodness. When I smell this, the more I smell this, I figured out like it reminded me of two fragrances. This is a combination of Baccarat Rouge, not the extrait, the OG, and Milk Loss by Commodity. If those two fragrances were mixed together, this would be their love child. Amberthyme would be their love child. Basically, that's what I'm getting from this fragrance, which is a good thing, right? It has that appeal to whoever smells you. And when you even wear it, you're like, damn, I smell really good. Like, this is a fragrance you can wear to work. You can wear out for an event. It lasts. It literally lasts. You're not going to have to overspray yourself. But because of how good this smells, you may want to be like, oh my God, I want to just keep dousing myself in this fragrance. But I would say you don't need to. The best time of day to wear this is obviously at nighttime, because the cooler weather accentuates the saffron here. And tonka and, the almonds and nutty notes are more enjoyed and more appreciated in cooler weather at nighttime. In the air, oh my goodness, you have a great sillage with this fragrance. I love it so much. A well-rounded one. Definitely a must-have if you want to try out those two fragrances like I mentioned, or just try something new in your collection if you do not have those two. This is what happened. It's so affordable. There are a few places where you can find it. I'll put the link in the description. But I think Afnan did an amazing job with this fragrance. If there was one thing though that I'm not happy with is this part of, like, it comes off. So you have like a plain box and you have this which is made of plastic. So maybe I just got a faulty package, I don't know. But just note to self and note to others, if you do get this, you may have this kind of issue, which I think is a quality issue. But I mean, some people like plain bottles, very minimalistic type vibe, but this doesn't really tell who it's from except this part. Great fragrance. So happy to have it in my collection, and you should definitely check it out. It's called Amberthyme. This next fragrance is called Sheikh Al Shiouk, and it's by Lattafa. Can you see that? Look at how much I've used this fragrance to tell you how great it is. I love this. Is my comfort zone fragrance. It is beautiful. This is a huge burst of vanilla and caramel, but in a soft, not overpowering way. It starts off almost powdery, but it settles into that sweet, enjoyable vanilla caramel with a dose of rose, a tiny presence of oud. This is delicious. And you have the saffron again, like I had mentioned. Saffron is a huge component in most Middle Eastern fragrances. Sheikh Al Shiouk was launched in 2015, and it has been a staple in the Lattafa collection. Like, it's always produced because a lot of people enjoy it, and it's so affordable. It's one of the most affordable fragrances from Lattafa or most Middle Eastern brands. Like, you can get, I believe this is 100 ml, but you can get like the 50 or 30 ml, I can't remember, for as low as $15-20, right? Fragrance is amazing. The notes here are at the top, rose, cinnamon, saffron. At the mid, you have caramel and patchouli. And at the base, you have woodsy notes, vanilla, amber, and ambroxan. Ambroxan is a compound found in ambergris that accentuates the way a perfume performs and adds to the life of the fragrance, and helps in the longevity of a fragrance. So it being used here is not, now I think about it, makes sense as to how this perfume lasts when I use it. It's such an enjoyable fragrance to have and to own. If you love the idea of vanilla, caramel, rose, you would definitely find Sheikh Al Shiouk as a fragrance that you will love. Now, sometimes people compare this to Lancome's Oud Bouquet. I never owned that fragrance, but people say that this is like a softer version of that. So, I mean, probably is. But for this fragrance on its own, it's delicious. Like, I love it. Okay, so this is a story. I got this at the height of COVID. I would not forget when I went to the supermarket or something, and we had our masks on. This was probably maybe April of 2020, and a lady stopped me and she's like, "You smell really good." Now we had masks on, and her comment just made me feel good because this was the only fragrance I had on. And yeah, it's worth having. It's such a delicious fragrance. You're not gonna get anything wood like here. I'm surprised that it's a part of the base notes. You're not getting anything heavy on like dry notes like the patchouli. I'm surprised there's patchouli here. As a patchouli lover, I do not smell that at all here. All I get is sweetness, like the caramel, the vanilla, the rose. Rose here is like caramelized rose, like rose soaked in sugar, and you're just having that like as a dessert. That's what I'm getting with this fragrance. It is a delight. Never have I had anyone complain about this fragrance when I wear it. And I wear it, like I said, it's my comfort fragrance. I've gone out on dates with this fragrance. I've hung out with friends with this fragrance. Always a compliment when I wear it. It's beautiful, and I think it deserves a lot of love. Like I said, look at this bottle. Look at how good it is. I've been contemplating getting a backup, but I'm like, it performs so well. I don't know how long it's going to take me to use this up, but if you're considering a fragrance that you want to try, look this up. I think you'll love it. You can go on Fragrantica and see the reviews as well. I think it's a delight to have. So yeah, this is Sheikh Al-Shiok. Next, I have one that has a silent but huge following, and this is called Ser Sheila by the brand Swiss Arabian, who are the makers of the known and loved Casablanca. My goodness, Ser Sheila is the perfect oud rose combo. If you're looking for that oud rose fragrance that takes you into the realm of actual Middle Eastern fragrances, what the core smells like, you should get Ser Sheila, because my goodness, this right here is amazing. This is jammy rose with very deep dry oud working together. Then you have the slight imprint of spicy notes in this fragrance, and it works so well. Then you also have a slight touch of jasmine, giving it that balanced, loud, potent fragrance that is just reminiscent of what the Middle East smells like, a typical Middle Eastern fragrance smells like. That's what you're going to get with Ser Sheila. The notes here are quite special. At the top, agarwood and spicy notes. In the middle, you have Indian rose, agarwood, Italian iris, and Egyptian jasmine. And at the base, you have some more oud, patchouli, amber, and vanilla. It's so potent. It performs really, really well. A few sprays are all you need. If you go to a club and spray this, you're going to be noticed. That's how good this fragrance smells. My gosh. When you wear this, you smell so expensive. Everything is right. Your checks are balanced. Your bank account is looking great. You have your mortgage paid up. Everything is in order in your life. That's what you get when you spray this fragrance. Like, this is a commanding fragrance that people smell before they see who's coming in. I can see this as someone's signature fragrance, but you have to have that confidence factor to be able to wear this fragrance. There's no way you wear this fragrance and you're just quiet and you're just hiding in the corner. No, because it's so done well. Like, the rose here is quite jammy. The oud is dry, but it's not like a skanky type of oud. It works well. Those are the two stars that play in this fragrance. Obviously, the vanilla gives it that sweetness as well, but this is like a very mature-minded fragrance that anybody that is willing to explore the world of Middle Eastern fragrances should try. I would say, though, in the dry down, there's a slight similarity to the iconic Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle. Now, that's not to say that this is a dupe of it. It's absolutely not. But you get that slight familiarity there. Like, oh, I can smell that, that slightly powdery part of it. But that's fleeting. It's not, it's based on how you feel. Some people say they don't get it from there. I do. But that being said, I definitely think that Ser Sheila is worth having in your collection. This is a strong perfume, a strong performer for a strong person. It's not imposing. It's not like, oh my God, it's scary. It's not intimidating, but there's that factor you have when you wear this that's like, damn, everything is good. My life is in order. So if you want your life to be in order, definitely get Sarah Ashala. It's an underrated gem. This next one does not speak to it being Middle Eastern. When you smell this, you won't even attribute it to being from the Middle Eastern region. And I'm talking about this amazing fragrance called Rare Tiffany by Afnan. Oh Lord, this bottle, I'm so bummed that my camera is not doing justice to the beauty that is this bottle. At the top you have like a gem-like, jewel-like outlook art that just captures this. This is like a gemstone, like something you find under the sea. That's what you get with this bottle. Rare Tiffany by Afnan was released sometime around, I believe, 2018 or 2019. Don't quote me on that. But my goodness, oh, I forgot how good this smells. This is so intoxicatingly good. My. This is for those who love their floral notes, their yellow floral notes. This is a great mix of yellow florals with a spiciness from the ginger, and then you have your caramel as well. My Lord, my God. Oh, Lord, you know what? Let's go there. Ooh. So the notes and my gosh, it's so gorgeous. At the top you have ylang ylang, jasmine and rose. At the mid you have musk, sandalwood and vanilla. At the base you have ginger, pink pepper and caramel. Of course, the ylang ylang is the yellow floral factor here, so you get a huge dose of that, a huge blast of that at the spray, the initial spray, and that settles in with the vanilla here. That works its magic. A beautiful combination of yellow flowers and vanilla has never been bad at all to the nose. It's well appreciated. And yellow florals, I don't know why it's not used a lot, but I think that with the vanilla, the sweetness from both sides just makes it so worth wearing, especially for women. And then you bring in the spiciness from the pink pepper and the ginger. My goodness, what do we have there? An amazing combination. And then that sweetness from the caramel just balances it out, giving you that, again, the ultra feminine fragrance that is worth capturing. I haven't smelled this in any fragrance. I can't even think of a fragrance that smells like this. This is a wow factor on its own. Great across seasons. Now I think about it, I remember having really nice memories with this during summertime, like 2 years ago. So, and I also appreciated this a lot last year. So, my gosh, I have to bring this back. It's so good. The only side I don't really appreciate is that this doesn't last as long as I want it to, but it is what it is. I have to put this again. Oh my God. This smells so good. The sillage on this thing, wow, compliment factor. Imagine spraying this on and walking out into like a room with people. They're gonna be like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? That's how good this is. Worth having. I love the bottle. I love the juice. I know it looks blue. It doesn't stain. I haven't had it stain any of my clothing, but yeah, this is another amazing one you should definitely have, especially if you're into floral notes, particularly yellow florals, and you want like a extra dose of spiciness from the ginger and pink pepper. You would not be disappointed with this fragrance. This is a fragrance that just gives you that air of femininity, which is, you know, delightful. We have to feel like women and feel beautiful. Oh my goodness, this is so good. This is like you're laying in a huge field of flowers, of yellow flowers, and you're just having a wonderful, peaceful, delightful day. It's also calming the way this fragrance works, and oh my God, it smells so good. The bubble it creates around you is undeniable. It's just so grounding. I love it so much. It just makes you feel at peace. The more I think about it, now that my eyes are closed and I'm just taking it all in, I just feel so good. Yeah, you should definitely check Rare Tiffany out by Afnan. It's a gem, underrated. must be had by those who love quality floral fragrances in their collections. So the last but not the least is one that I'm literally so obsessed with because my body is obsessed with this fragrance. It is so sexy. My gosh, this is none other than Regina by Ajmal. Have you heard about this one? Look at the bottle. This is such a corny bottle. I don't even know what this is supposed to be, but the way it's shaped is so interesting. But look at this fragrance. Look at how much I've used out of this fragrance. Anyway, Regina by Ajmal was launched in 2016, and this is the fragrance that captured my soul. It snatched my soul and made me say, you know what? You need to give more Middle Eastern fragrances a try. More non-traditional Middle Eastern fragrances a try. What do I mean by that? This is sweetness and fruits taking you to the next level. The notes on this are at the top, plum and passion fruit. At the mid, you have praline and pink roses. And at the base, you have amber and mahogany. Now, what I'll tell you is this. This is sweetness and fruits working their magic together. The plum here is overripe, dipped in melted chocolate, and the chocolate feeling comes from the praline. That is what you're getting with this fragrance. And the passion fruit here, oh my God, is in the juiciest, sweetest form. Mixing all of this together gives you the beauty that is Regina by Ajmal. There's no way you're gonna wear Regina and not get a compliment. This fragrance just is like very flirty, very sexy. It smells so exotic. It doesn't smell like the typical Middle Eastern fragrance. It just makes you want to wear a bikini and lay in the sun and just think that you're on a holiday throughout, because it evokes the feeling of just being free, like a burst of just life has sprung out of you. That's how you feel when you wear Regina. Like, you just feel like a woman wearing this fragrance. This is definitely geared towards women. It's so beautiful to have. I would also say that in the air, this sort of reminds me of La Belle by Jean-Paul Gaultier. So if that you love that, you would definitely enjoy this one. It's not a dupe, but it just, you know, reminds you of it when you spray it. I'm in love with this fragrance. Whenever I wear it, I feel so happy. It's a year-round perfect fragrance, but it's more enjoyable and appreciated in the warmer climate. That's when this fragrance comes alive, in the warmer climate, which is surprising, being that it's so sweet. You have to wear it in a place where there's a lot of air flowing through, because when this is in the air, you're gonna have people say like, girl, what are you wearing? Tell me what you're wearing. So if your name is even Regina and you have this fragrance, just imagine someone's like, hey, what's up? What are you wearing? I'm wearing Regina. Look at that. You are so lucky that you have a fragrance as good as this named after you. It's worth having. I've had this for years. This is amazing. It's one of those that you should have in your collection. Definitely works across all ages, but more feminine leaning. And yeah, I'm so happy to introduce you to this one. If you haven't heard about it, definitely get it. It's also on the lower end in terms of pricing. It lasts a long time. So that's it for me. I'm so in love with this fragrance. It's just, the word for this would be exotic. That's what I get when I wear Regina. And there you have it. 5 amazing, highly underrated Middle Eastern fragrances from brands that you should also explore. I believe that Middle Eastern fragrances take us to the next level in terms of their creativity, the way the fragrances are packaged, just everything about the fragrances that they deliver are exceptional. You know, you need to be open to the world of smells. And as I will always say, fragrance wearing is an art that should be experienced by everyone. It's been a pleasure sharing these with you. I hope you can take the time to like this video, subscribe to my channel, please check out my other videos, and let me know your thoughts. Do not forget, you're amazing, you're beautiful, and have a blessed rest of your day. See you soon.